A lot of people have been asking me why I would use the idea of a second brain or a knowledge base to manage brand architecture. I'm going to show you why here. With my platform Viable Edge, there are autonomous agents that are delivering different competitive updates and marketplace insights based on research, just like this one, where the EU is going to be deciding disclosure requirements for AI content. Here's another one. Figma Buzz adds brand lock workflows, something that's directly relevant to me, but not necessarily something that I'm going to encounter in the wild. What I can do with that is discuss it with Ophelia, and Ophelia will help me understand how this may or may not impact my brand and what I can do about it. So Ophelia's response is, this one doesn't move the needle much. Figma Buzz is a template locking execution layer, not a strategy or architecture layer. So it's a different lane related to my category, but not necessarily something that I would have to account for from a competitive or a differentiator standpoint. I'll save it as an insight. But here's one that needs review. Canva claims living memory for brand style. So that's interesting. I'm not exactly sure, similar to Figma, if this is something that is going to be relevant for me. And quite frankly, I just don't have the time to go to Canva or research it. So I'm going to also just discuss this with Ophelia and see if I should be concerned about this from a brand perspective. This one is a real language collision, not just a feature overlap. Living memory means brand style does not need a re-explaining each session, which is close to word for your own doesn't need re-explaining claim. So that is pretty important. That's something that I definitely care about. This came up today, July 21st, so it's very timely. Just skimming through this, Ophelia is saying the part we're taking seriously is the portability claim. Canva pushing brand kit context into ChatGPT and Claude narrows the only were portable across AI tools gap. So that's actually extremely on point, because with the Viable Edge, because one of my marquee claims is with your brand knowledge base or architecture, you can access it anywhere, and that access is dynamic. Most specifically with this MCP connection, which enables semantic search for any AI that can plug into an MCP. I also have other outputs, including an Obsidian vault, custom voice skills, and sync to Notion. So Ophelia's read is, log it as a high priority watch item, but no positioning rewrite needed. It's worth sharpening messaging so it explicitly names living memory style claims, not just brand kits. So that's a really important nuanced insight that I would not have without Ophelia surfacing that Canva update. And I'm going to take its advice to log it and sharpen the messaging framework's comparison language. So let's update that. Ophelia has updated two documents. One is the messaging framework, and it updated a proof point based on what we saw from Canva. What's been added to the messaging framework is this piece right here. And the supporting rationale is the category distinction used when design platform's own memory feature comes up without naming the competitor unprompted. So it's giving me a way to respond to Canva's claim without necessarily having to mention Canva, which is a very nuanced element of messaging that can make it into my strategy and my content development. Let's take a look at the market landscape. Here we go. Right at the top here, Canva AI 2.0 launched, introduced a new architecture layer spanning conversational design, agentic editing, etc. So here are insights that are being captured as part of our market landscape. I'm actually not tracking Canva as a direct competitor, but maybe I should. And so I'm going to ask Ophelia, should we now be tracking Canva as a direct competitor? Ophelia is actually recommending that we track Canva. So I'm going to add Canva as a tracked competitor. Ophelia is going to do the diligence to gather all of the information, and then we'll get a competitive readout that looks just like this document that will be dynamically updated over time. Just like other knowledge base and second brains, we can see all of the connections and links to other components of the knowledge base. So what this is telling me is that Notion, which is the competitor that I picked on, competes with one of the same ICPs that I do, freelance brand strategists, which I can then click through and see all of the competitors who are relevant for this ICP. So you probably start to see the big picture here, which is literally this knowledge graph where we can visualize these relationships and these connections. Ophelia added Canva to the knowledge base. There it is right there. We can click on it and we can see all of the most relevant information, including what came through today in the Market Watch, the Canva AI 2.0 launch. So anyway, I hope that helps explain why this is so valuable and important. If you're working with a brand or a client on marketing, whether it's Viable Edge or something else, there's never been a way to operationalize intelligence like this before. And that's what inspired me to build it. So anyway, I hope this was helpful and thank you for watching.